Hi there. Welcome back, everyone, to our wonderful coterie group here. It's Happy Sunday again, and we're all here. And I'm sure everyone's had a difficult Sunday. I know we have, so we're just really happy to be here. So, bring it back in now. Grayson, you clutch onto Onyx, helping her heave herself onto the maintenance shaft of this massive sleuth. The roaring water still rushing in a massive swirling vortex just 12 feet beneath you. You can feel some of that cold spray still just sticking to your damp clothes. Many strange faces appear in front of you, those you don't recognize, but then your eyes, ever sharp, catch in the glimmers of small bit of red light coming from the maintenance lights above. Familiar glimpses of people. Some homeless. Some what would have been dressed nicely at one point, long, filthed, and ragged. But these faces you do remember. Some of these people used to be part of your herd. People that had checked out of the facility, beaten their addiction, supposedly found greater callings, and were approved to move on. Homeless people that never came back. People that you just, unfortunately, didn't have the power to hold on to, for one reason or another, at least without imposing some restraint against free will. As you see these faces, wide-eyed, foaming at the mouth, all signature slits across the neck, how do you feel as you watch these souls endlessly plummeting out of the darkness into the sleuth below you, vanishing from sight?
As Grayson watches them fall into this abyss, it is like not quite as painful a reminder as he would think it would be. He would know that his other self would have been beside himself and distraught, but him now uses it, is more trying to concentrate on it being, you see those? Those are all the ones we could have saved. We need to do better. We need to be more prepared so that this doesn't need to be. It's what he tells himself in his mind to help reaffirm his goals. As it's showing on his face. It's not indecision. It's not like a cold disconnection. It's just almost kind of like the look you give when someone passes away. You're just like silent acceptance.
This thought process you kind of go push yourself through as they just throw themselves off the edge of this tunnel into the sleuth. Their eyes all locked on you as a group, not even caring. There's no self-preservation in these creatures. Whatever made them human is gone. And you watch as one soul after another falls in a never-ending tirade as it begins to thin. But your mind quickly comes back to the present as Onyx is clutching to you, wide-eyed and shaking, and Acer, your feet scrabble against metal as Wildeka, leaning backwards, holding you by the scruff of your shoulders. God, fuck! For a scrawny streamer, you're sure fucking heavy! God!
Sorry, just
and he just leaves you very, very quickly onto the maintenance house. You kind of roll off top of him, landing next to him, and he's just splaying wide-eyed. One hand or another as Crescent, you manage to pull yourself up right behind Grayson and Onyx onto this band of metal platform about 12 feet above the swirling vortex. You're all soaked to the bone and filthy out of all of you, Crescent, as you kind of look around. You're all alive, for the most part. But Onyx, why don't you go ahead and narrate how you look right now to Crescent?
Onyx is curled up and just kind of clutching herself, and she's got a pretty 1,000-yard stare right now, and she's just rocking back and forth. She's not staring at anything. She's gone.
I'm gonna get down in front of her and kind of like kneel. I'm gonna know better not to touch her at this point, but I'm just gonna kneel down and be like, hey, up here. Look right here. Hey. Onyx. This is real. Right here, this is real.
What?
You look up at Crescent, and the moment your eyes make contact with her, there's this almost sharp screech in your mind, as for a brief instant, you are staring face to face with that same shark-toothed Nosferatu as it just glares down at you, smiling, and you blink and it immediately phases.
I am going to jump back, gasping, and then look completely just terrified, like full-on terrified. And then it'll take me a second, almost as if I'm like reaching for a gun, and then she'll see like right when I do that, the fog just clears for a little bit. And I just... God, I'm sorry.
Did you let go of Grayson?
Yeah, I'm just curled in on myself.
It's okay. Hey, I know there's stuff going on in your head. It's just what happens. You're stronger than that. It's okay. Get something to ground yourself. An object,
not a strength thing. This isn't something I can just get over. It doesn't go away. It never goes away. It doesn't go away.
Onik at this point turns and says, shit. Figures. Damn it. As he sits up and you can actually hear as shoulders realign, he pops back into place. Damn it.
Okay. What is going on?
He's a Malk.
She's having a moment. I'll take care of it.
Right.
Onik, do you know where we are?
He kind of sits a bit, letting his legs dangle over the edge, looking around. I have a general idea. It got a bit hairy back there trying to figure out which way was up for a bit, but I think I know where we are.
Okay. Question becomes, how far are we from where we wanted to be?
See, this is the hard thing I've been trying to explain the whole time, Mr. Holland Man.
Here we go.
You guys want to find this guy. There are so many different maintenance tunnels. There are so many different sleuths. There are so many passageways underneath this city. This could be one of many places he could be. But frankly, I would have ran a bit deeper through the center. But obviously, as we can see by our, Shaun of the Dead fuckers over there, currently flushing them down the tube like a shitter.
Oh, that's World War Z right there. That is a dog pile of, I'm not gonna say the word, but yes.
Why? I'll say it. Zombies. They're fucking zombies. That's it. I'm dead, and those are worse dead than us.
Regardless, I don't like those. And I think I would speak for everyone when we should avoid any more encounters with them.
Well, luckily, I think a good percentage of them just got flushed.
Right out in the, as I look down.
In the Seattle Bay. That could be a problem.
He leans over. That's probably not good, actually.
Yeah.
Oh, great. Now we're gonna have an actual zombie invasion. This is fantastic. All right. Well,
so we're gonna have a zombie apocalypse on top of a... How is that gonna work?
I don't know. At this point, I'm just waiting for the sky to split open and rain hellfire while the entire siege rains into a portal while a octopus-looking motherfucker comes out and says hi.
Alright.
Okay.
That's the point.
We're a little off topic.
How can we help her right now?
While you relive The Walking Dead, can we just get me out of here?
Of course. Hey, Onyx, you remember Ray, of course. Here, hang on to me. I'll get you out of here.
I'll let him get me up, but I'm kind of not. I'm keeping my distance a little bit. Just barely. Hold on.
As you wrap your arms around him, just kind of holding onto him as he supports you up, Onika does stand up and help Acer and Crescent to their feet as well. There's not too far away nearby appears to be this almost scaffolding type of maintenance ladder that comes up, flattens out, comes up again. 2 or 3, maybe four roots high. It does take you all a minute to get your way through the sound of the water going fainter, fainter. After a little bit, you do reach what appears to be a maintenance overhang that makes it about eye level to that tunnel that you previously just all careened yourself out of. Enzo does kind of look at this very large metal door, though, bathed in deep red light.
Enzo, you mean Wanaka?
Yes, sorry.
Sorry. I was like, wait a
Great
second.
job, guys.
He's been with us the whole time.
Perfect.
First try.
Scooby-Doo moment, it was me the entire time.
Anyway, continue.
Wanaka, as you guys do kind of pull yourself up onto a more stable landing, Wanaka is kind of standing in front of a door, and it's a very thick maintenance type door. Single handle outward, nothing to suspend. It does write in Big Raider's maintenance staff only. The door is not sitting comfortably in its frame. The door is wide open, and hanging off one hinge, the metal itself bent. The door itself almost bent in half, as if something massive had tried to tear its way through and succeeded. Wanaka just kind of tilts his head and goes, "That's new."
What are the odds that those things have the strength to do that?
I look down at my bite mark. Pretty good.
Okay. So either they went through here, or it could be Enzo.
I'm going through a little bit cautiously, of course. I'm not trying to be like loud about it.
Crescent, you are never allowed unless you want to be.
I will take that.
I'm gonna mess with the flashlight. How waterlogged is it?
Let's find out. It flickers for a moment. You kind of shake it, give a few taps, and a hefty amount of sewage water does come out, and it flickers to life.
Hey.
Then I need to ask, how about mine?
Find out.
How's my luck tonight?
Surprisingly enough, yours is just barely damp. Flick the light, and it comes right on. Looks like those modern-day flashlights have pretty good rubber ceilings. Luckily, you guys weren't submerged too long.
Yeah, I'll shine wherever I need to in order to keep us moving.
So, Crescent, walking ahead of the group, you guys begin following your way as Wanaka very quickly catches up to the next to Crescent as you guys begin moving forward. It looks like... He kind of takes a moment to take another look around. Oh boy. Well, girly, let's not get flushed out anywhere serious.
What do you mean?
Remind me if I'm wrong, but don't you have a problem with Perseus' territory?
What of it?
Yeah. We're right underneath it.
Great.
Sorry, that means what?
What's wrong with his territory?
It's Bruja territory for now.
Should I explain some of the history, or do we want to let your wonderful...
We don't need to explain any history. We just need to get out of here.
Oh.
Yep.
He puts two hands
I
up.
will. I'll inform you later of the checkered would be putting it lightly.
Point is, you'll find out really quick if we get found out by anybody else.
If you had problems with Perseus' territory before, sweetheart, you're going to have a hell of a nightmare nowadays.
Why?
Why do you think I was looking over my shoulder so much, getting us at least this far over here for that entrance? This territory's not doing too hot right now.
What does that mean?
Yeah, what? Do you mean it's gone anarch like Sebastian's, or something else?
No, more like it's an active conflict. Look.
And we just walked right into the center of it. Oh,
No,
God.
we're underneath it. We're not in the center. We're more like center down.
Look. That's why I was looking over my shoulder. Ever since that fucking list came out, I've been having a harder and harder time locking down any anarchists, and there have been more of them. Ever since Sebastian defected, ever since, things happened. Sides are starting to be drawn. And, well, Bruja were always kind of fringe at best. Even Kratos, back during the whole La Sombra, coming to Seattle, welcome with a gift fruit basket, all that shit. Even that was a bit spotty for them because Brute have a hard time really agreeing on anything. One guy says yes, the other guy says no, the sky is blue, suddenly it's red, and everybody wants to fight about it. But the problem is, at least under Perseus, he was able to get them roped in. Hell, what on the streets is a new guy. And nothing, no all-out war has necessarily happened, nothing to infringe upon this list, so to speak, no violence, so to say.
What happened to Perseus?
Oh, he's still reigning the territory. He's still there. He isn't gone. He's having a hard time keeping things under control. See, a lot of bigwigs in Perseus territory, a lot of rich fuckers. Apartments, landowners, hotels, real corporate types, and I don't necessarily like them, but they were loyal to Perseus. They paid their dues, so to speak. They made sure to check in with him, do him favors, run the territory as a baron should. He had a pretty tight ship, despite him being a bruja. Now all of a sudden, a lot of those richer bigwigs, they ain't talking much. I don't know what's going on, but word on the street, it's another guy. Someone moving in, someone tough, has started muddling into Perseus' business, pushing on his margins, so to speak. Acknowledged Kindred aren't checking in like they used to. Perseus sent someone to go say hi to them, all of a sudden his dogs come back with an arm missing, or a finger missing, or looking like Swiss cheese, or if at all. But nothing outright has happened. So we can't do anything about it as hounds. Perseus has made several attempts to Eleonora, and that's kind of when I've been poking around in that area. I don't know what's going on, but Perseus is playing a strong game, but he's having a hard time making face.
Maybe that's something we can put on the list.
Our long-ass list of shit to do? Yeah, sure. Add it.
I'm just saying, if we can help him out, might be able to, forgive some past stuff. Get you off the hook.
You mean me?
Could be something good. Just saying.
Here's the thing, Crescent. I ain't gonna blame you for diabolizing one of them. It was a blood hunt. It was legal. It's what was supposed to be done. That was the point. That's what a blood hunt is. It was fine. Perseus, he never really seemed to care that much about it either. It's not really Perseus that's the problem. It's your overall PR image. And, when you lose friends, sometimes others can get real bitter. Bruhar definitely wanted to cause a fight. I think they have a reason for it. All I'm saying is, just be careful when you're in that territory. If you ever even have to go there for any reason. Things have been rough. There's other things going on in the city too that's just been giving me the jeebies.
Thanks for the warning. I'll definitely take it.
Well, you don't really get to come to a lot of our fan club meetings, so it's kind of hard to pass on business. And I figure getting flushed down the toilet's a great time to have a conversation while we walk down long, dark, and red and gloomy.
Yes, I would think of no better situation than right now to talk about important political information.
I mean, we can't get away.
That's true. He gets it. That's scary.
I'd rather do something before it's staring me in the face.
Point is, I doubt that there's going to be any sort of brouhaha this far down here.
Probably not. There's always a chance, but probably not.
Let's go with no.
So,
I'm gonna continue cautiously forward.
By the way, Onyx is pulling out a very sopping wet notebook and taking notes of everything you just said.
The notebook
I'm gonna make a note of that.
The notebook is very waterlogged, and you quickly find that as you're trying to write down notes, your pen is already starting to shred through this paper.
I'm searching for a pencil.
You know what? I would say Onyx is neurotic enough that we should probably have a backup.
Oh, she would.
I got something.
I'll say you definitely could find a shorter pencil that's not as long, it's not as good as your pen, but it's good backup. You kind of blunt it off a little bit to take away some of the edge, and it's difficult. Graphite on wet doesn't always work very well, but you're able to make some very, unfortunately, sloppy notes.
Almost comforting.
You might need a blow dryer later for those pages if they're trying to survive.
I will be rewriting all of this down later.
Most likely.
All right, so we're not going to see Onyx for a good 2 to 3 days.
I think that's
You can bet on that.
As you guys keep moving through this maintenance shaft, it brings back bad flashbacks to the three of you. Like being in those catacombs again. This long maintenance shaft of red light, your wet footprints hitting the ground, echoing every so often. Every now and then there are a series of doors that, while Nuka begins kind of checking and pushing through, most of them are locked and unmoving. He shakes his head a little bit. So, Crescent, I have to ask, and it's kind of bugging me. What are you going to do when you find that cell? This is, to be clear, I have to ask as a fellow hound. Because, I like your face, and, Eleanor's been hunting him pretty hard. Me and Alexa have been, looking for him too.
Is this loud enough for me to hear?
He's not quiet. You're not totally sure if he knows how to be secretive despite his clan, or if he is so emboldened he just doesn't care.
Has she? Because
Yeah.
I told her I would take care of this, and she seemed like she was going to let me.
Oh, she never told us anything to stop you. But at the same time, ever since he took off, well, in Camarilla terms in general, it's a big no-no. If you gotta go somewhere, you tell somebody, at least someone that's more important than you. Slipping away is usually the first sign of you got something sneaky going on, and no one likes that in the camp. But
Well, I can assure you, between the sheriff and I, he has a good reason.
that's fine, but that's why I have to ask as a hound. What do you plan on doing with him when we find him? Because, look, again, I like all of y'all. I gotta be honest. I'm gonna have to tell Eleonora.
I just need to question him.
And then what?
I don't know yet, honestly.
Have you
I
really
know
thought
he
that far
left for
ahead?
good reason. No, of course not. Onyx says he's in danger. I'm just focused on that right now.
At this point, Bonecker does stop in the middle and kind of looks to all of you as a group. Okay. Damn it. See, this is why I didn't want to get involved. But again, with the fucking face. Plus, yeah, Khalid kind of asked me to keep eyes on you guys every now and then, so.
Khalid did.
Well, yeah. I'm not sure why, but I don't ask questions. I do what I'm told, especially from Khalid. But, he was very interested in make sure you guys were doing well. Apparently, you guys got hot shots in the sky, so to speak. Just keep it tabs. However, rank and loyalty are difficult things to bleed out, so I have to ask, I guess it now extends to you guys as a group, what are you going to do with him once you find him? Because if you guys just want to talk to him, fine, we could talk to him. We could do that here. We could do that at my place. We could do that at your place. We could do that at the Sun. I don't really give a fuck. Preferably not that last one. But afterwards, I'm gonna have to take him if you guys aren't doing something with him. And I'm asking to get the subtle hint, hint, nod, nod that if you guys are gonna do something with him, I can buy you time. But if you guys aren't going to take responsibility for him, he's mine.
Really quick before I answer, I want to look at Crescent and I'm kind of just get a general feel of what she's going through.
Cressida,
Like-
are you trying to hide your emotions right now?
I don't know if she can.
You can try.
No.
No.
This is like tapping to the most human part of her in a way. So
Chris.
she's feeling every emotion and probably feels a little bit like Onyx, honestly.
Crescent, if you had to dilute this complex feelings that's bringing up, what would be the main emotion driving them?
It's split. I guess the main one would just be anger towards the situation, towards being put into this situation.
And wow, Neck would be a focal point of that anger for now.
Oh, fuck. Well, he said he's gonna help, so, yeah.
Go ahead and give me a frenzy check.
Damn it.
Unspent willpower, half humanity rounded down.
It's not that many. That is a messy crit, but that is like 5 successes.
Well, luckily you can't miss a
Wait,
crit
no.
on a frenzy resist. You can just crit.
Oh, I don't roll 100 dice?
Not for frenzy.
Oh, yay! I love that. Okay, sweet. I'm gonna switch that over to black dice, but that was still a lot of successes, so I'm kind of sad. That's still 4 successes.
4 successes. Acer, as Vaoneka kind of looks at you all as a group, but then his eyes stop on the Crescent, you can see immediately her hands go white-knuckled. Her jaw is clenched. There's a whole flash of emotion that goes across her face, fear, anxiety, stress, but overall, she's mad. Really mad.
Okay.
But she's able to kind of plant her feet in the ground. She's just staring daggers down to Vaoneka, who kind of tilts his head at her and goes a bit wide-eyed. He kind of takes a small step back. Not out of fear, but more like ready. But then nothing happens. And he goes, easy, dog, easy. And I mean that because dog to dog.
Then I will pipe up. Hopefully this kind of dissipates the situation, but Acer will pipe up and be like, we're not gonna stop you from doing your hound duties. However, I do have a lot of questions to ask him, and I do want him in our facility for a couple of days for those questions, if that's all right with you.
Go ahead and roll a charisma, persuasion, and add your primogen status.
Oh my god, that's right, I have that. Charisma.
I thought that's what you were taking advantage of right now. I'm like, you're a virgin. You have authority over her.
I
You
was just
it,
asking.
boy.
I forgot. I'm primitive now. Okay, hold up.
Don't forget, you are also at 4 hunger, so add your hunger dice.
Correct, yes. Persuasion, 0. Fun. And then, Primogen is 4 die?
Yes, it's 4 die. It's going to be, manipulation, persuasion, and, primogen status.
Oh, manipulation and persuasion, not charisma.
Yes. Actually, I'll make this more charisma. You're not really trying to manipulate, you're just asking.
Okay, cool. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 successes.
5 successes. Wawaneka does kind of maintain eye contact with Crescent for a bit, and before he looks over to you, kind of licks his bottom lip. Of course, Mr. Primogen. I can...
Still not gonna use that.
I can step back a little bit. I didn't mean any offense, Crescent. Again, I'm on your side here. I got you the eyes this far.
No, I'm sorry. This is a lot.
Yeah, it's a lot. I'm missing a finger! He holds up his middle finger, but what would be a middle finger is not just a stub. That's not me trying to be rude. I lost that. That's my favorite third.
On the other hand,
He puts up the other one, and that one's also missing.
all right, I don't know how you managed to get both. You know what? That's
Just
I'm better now. Thanks for that.
a vacant-eyed chuckle in the corner.
Just
Right.
for clarification, Waioneka, I appreciate the fact that you're buying us time, but if you need to tell her. Don't hold back.
Oh, I'm going to tell her. There's nothing I can do about that. She's the sheriff, Mr. Bridget. So.
No, yes. Just wanted to make it clear. I don't expect you to deceive anybody. Just telling you what we're going to be doing.
Fair enough. So, that's up to your prerogative. I just want to get that fucking clear because, as he kind of steps off to the side, you could see where he was standing. His body was blocking a little bit of information. As he kind of puts a thumb over his shoulder, you could see a massive 5-fingered gouging of claw mark against this carved stone wall of concrete that drags from the side of the wall onto the floor and drags off into the distance. I don't know too many things that can make nail marks, as he kind of flexes some of his own nails and they fit pretty well into those grooves.
Then we're close.
Pushing onward, still holding on to Grace and Onyx, as you guys begin falling towards the back of the group at this point. The paranoia is really setting in. You feel a small chill down your back as you swear to God you could hear that same song humming in that slow, gravelly voice that you remember from all those years ago. That same man, the same monster. You walk down the hall with Grayson. You look over to a metal door of another maintenance shaft. And you see the briefest reflection of Declan just splattered across the ground. Snaps away as you kind of look away from it. You guys turn a right and you swear you see a shadow move just at the corner of your eye, and you blink and there's nothing there.
No. It's not real. It's not real.
It isn't real. Point me to where it is.
It's not something you can help with. It's just bad memories. Things I don't want to remember.
I'm trying to tell you something. Don't forget. Stay strong. Move on.
They won't let me forget, and they certainly don't want me to move on.
Well, then I guess we better keep walking and prove them wrong.
I'm gonna look around again.
As you look around, it's just endless halls of just red maintenance lights, signs depicting safety standards, maintenance shafts going 2 different directions, electrical engineering signs that probably someone trained in this field would make heads or tails of. But as you look behind you, you see a shadow standing at the far end of the corner where you just were. And a hand slowly raises up, and you can see the glint of metal pointing straight at you.
I am going to react like trying to dodge, like jerk out of the way.
Immediately, Grayson, before your eyes, Onyx just hits the ground as she just covers her head, hits the ground as if something just blasted at her.
Did I hear anything?
Nothing but the sounds of rushing water.
Oh my God. No. She's just on the ground, kind of shaking, and she'll scramble back and look at where it just was, like almost like crawling backwards.
You look back. Nothing there.
Damn it. She gets up and just kicks the wall in anger.
All of you hear as there's a loud that kind of echoes down the hard shaft as Onyx kicks that wall really fucking hard. Cause you kind of all to jump. Onyx kind of pipes up. Come on, fractured head, let's go! You can have your meltdown on top side.
You can shut it, ugly ass.
I go over and stand next to Onyx. I just offer my hand again.
I'll reach out. I'm sorry. Trust me. If there was something I could do to make me not like this, I would, but unfortunately the devil doesn't bargain.
Then Grayson does laugh, not loudly, but he does laugh. He looks down, he looks to her and says, "Oh, no. He does not. The worst part is he doesn't tell you what you give in exchange for some things." As I look to her with my eyes and I change them into that silvery color as when I invoke my spectral sight. Sense the unseen. Thank you. And I looked at her. He took a lot.
I'm just gonna clutch to it and look at him. And I'm like, at least you don't have to see fucking nightmares every day.
No, I keep them posted on the wall in the center. Those are my ghosts.
Mine are dead too. Oh, I get it.
At this point, as you kind of all come together, Grayson, you help Onyx to your feet. It happens one more time, Onyx. And this time it sends you reeling as it damn near gives you whiplash, as if you almost fall into Grayson. And this time, a flurry of images start flooding your mind in rapid succession. You see Grayson as he's thrown upon a pit of wind spikes. His body torn from limb to limb. You see Acer. He's on a meat hook, hanging from a ceiling like a trophy, still alive, but unmoving. It flashes again as you see Crescent, torn and broken within an inch of her very existence as you watch in mid-process her head being ripped from her shoulders. Every single image, every single time, the same Nosferatu just smiling and humming that sickening tune. You watch as the SCC is burning. You watch as this same man, this same Nosferatu stands on the top of what appears to be a massive skyscraper, his shadow looming over everything, and you are standing at its base looking out, looming underneath it, as you can hear screams, endless screams. And then more images keep flashing just back and forth. People you've met, people you've danced with, your favorite bands, every single person you've met with, just one by one, being torn apart and shredded, one after another, brutally. Last images of you walking through a barren Seattle. It's completely black and white and noir. You leave bloody footprints behind, clouded in red. And that last image floods the front of your mind as you fall to your knees into the front of this man, in front of this monster. He turns his back on you.
She is almost trying to press her hands into her eyes, and she's just shouting to herself. And then when she comes to, she panics and just grips onto them and almost checks everyone. She's gonna freak out and reach for who she can and almost kind of check on them for a sec just to make sure for her own sanity that they're okay.
You immediately reach out and see everyone's around you as you snap back in, as you just watch Onyx fall into almost could be a seizure at this point. As she suddenly snaps back wide, just stares out and grabs almost all of you as much as she can, just gripping you all tightly, just shaking in a white red sweat. as your eyes can look over and you see Wawaneka as he looks at you and his face kind of shifts for a moment. And you have to kind of realize that's not him.
I'm gonna get you all killed. I know it. I'm gonna get you killed. God, he's not gonna go away. And I'm gonna...
What's going on?
I'm gonna, almost for a moment, I'm gonna press into my head as I kind of mutter, God, I'm gonna kill, he's gonna hurt them. And then you're gonna kind of watch her, and she's gonna freeze. And for a moment, she looks like she's debating something. She's terrified. And then I'm gonna look up at Wawaneka, and just almost like I'm in a daze, just kind of look at him and be like, I know you're not him, but do you know him?
He just kind of looks wide-eyed at everyone for a moment, then back at you and just genuine surprise. What the hell are you talking about?
Teeth.
Teeth?
Large, serrated teeth.
In your case, give me a wits plus insight.
That's not great right now. There it is. 3 successes.
3 successes. He kind of turns his head to you. No, that doesn't ring a bell. And frankly, we shouldn't be having these kind of conversations. We should probably keep moving. Don't you think?
She'll just roll her eyes and then sag into whoever's closest to her for a sec, and then try and pull herself together and just mutter, sorry, this is why I don't eat people.
Hey, you and me both, Gurney. Come on. The longer we're down here, the more nervous I get. Let's go. As he just very quickly, I might add, turns on his heel and begins marching.
I want an insight check him now.
If you want to. Anyone that wants to, you can.
Screw it. Want to.
What's an insight?
Mm-hmm.
Anyone wants to, throw what's an insight.
Yeah, that was interesting for him.
Oh, actually, yeah, I'll give it a go. Why not?
Go for it.
Not terrible.
3?
Got 2 success.
2?
Only 1.
1?
Didn't do much better.
That was odd for a while, Neko. You didn't get the sense he was maybe lying. You don't think he's really necessarily lying, but he definitely stiffened up. Why, you're not 100% sure. None of you know what serrated teeth would mean anyway. But that little fact did seem to cause a certain amount of concern on his face.
As I'm walking with everyone, while you guys are checking him out, I'm still trying to stay back. I'm not talking to anyone anymore because I know that I'm an inconvenience at this point, but I'm still you'll catch me touching people. So make sure that, Grayson's back's okay.
Oh no.
Just a little bit.
And
It's almost neurotic,
Hit your cheeks.
I'll say, Onyx, as well, just so you know, because you did have 3, you're kind of able to pick up on that as well. Just even in your fractured mind, that Wanaka did appear concerned. But as you guys are walking down, you guys kind of start making way to this pace, and then Onyx will occasionally reach out and grab Acer's arm a little bit and pull him closer by the sleeve. Or as Crescent tries to pull away, she'll kind of reach out and grab him, grab her by the back of the jacket a little bit.
I'll probably immediately jump.
She still reaches for you as you kind of jump away, but she does kind of tug at you a little bit, almost like a child. Holds on to Grayson a little tighter, kind of pats him on the back a little bit. She's gotten very guarded all of a sudden out of all of you.
You okay there?
Well, as he said, I'm a monk. What do you think?
Yeah, I mean, I'm starting to understand, but at the same time, a lot of missing info.
That's by design. But you don't get this broken on accident.
All right, fair. Is there anything I can do to help?
Just be careful, okay?
I'll try my best.
And stay away from meat hooks.
What a thing to say.
That I can do. I'm not planning on signing up for a horror movie, so I guess, yeah, I can do that.
Is there something on my back? Is that why you've been touching there?
At this point, she's not answering anymore. She's pretty withdrawn.
He's just very confused now. He's just walking forward like meat hooks.
She's almost embarrassed at this point because she does not like making scenes.
So, you all keep pushing on. The group kind of being staggered a little bit as Onyx just seems to every occasion just make sure everyone was within arm's reach of her at all times. Just kind of cycling through everybody every few minutes. The pacing kind of staying hovered around her like this semi-makeshift safety bubble. And then, this maintenance tunnel comes to an end. We come around one last hard turn as Valneka is standing. He looks around. Weird. As this hallway kind of opens up into a much larger maintenance room. The hum of machinery is now radiating through this area. Large boxes of electrical circuits and power hubs seem to be just stacked on top of each other in very large quantities. Pipes and tubings are coming across out of the walls, through the ceilings. You can see on one side of this very large room, around a bit of a corner, there are 3 of these massive pump stations actively running. Small bits of light kind of coming off their LEDs that would signify that they're currently turned on. As you can hear that hum of machinery pushing and pulling liquid through this entire vicinity. The entire area is bathed in red light. As this appears to be the end of the shaft, Anaka looks around. Fuck. Okay.
Is this a dead end?
Yep, that's what this would be. Fuck.
I'm gonna look down for anything out of place.
Give me a explosive investigation.
I'll help her, because it is kind of weird that we saw Clarmox going this way only to meet to a dead end. So yeah. I'll help her shine the flashlight around, see if I can spot anything.
Add a +1.
What's an awareness +1?
Wits plus investigation +1.
2, 3. 3 successes.
3 successes. Using some of the light to kind of help illuminate things, as Crescent, you get low and start looking around for anything's at a miss. Everything seems orderly. This place doesn't seem like it's seen much use or much passes through. Kind of common sense would indicate that a maintenance worker probably wouldn't need to be down here unless something actually broke. It's kind of pretty self-sustaining. Large electrical boxes like the one you'd see in front yards of neighborhoods back in California kind of dot this area. One thing that does kind of catch you as Acer kind of brings his light around is there's a light that's not lighting as he kind of passes by, and you realize there's a darkened corner of this room. As all the lights seem to be functioning just fine, but there is one light that does not want to seem to work.
I'm just immediately pointing in that direction. I'm going that over there, and I'm walking that direction.
Just for fun, I'm gonna turn to Grace and I'm gonna be like, "Can I see your phone really quick?"
Yeah, sure. As I pull out my phone and I try to click it on.
It's good.
Turn it on and go past the screen. I hand it to him.
I'm gonna open up the camera app and kind of point it in that direction to see if there's like any sort of distortion or blot within the camera. Besides present, obviously.
You move the camera through. As your camera lens hits that darkened space, there's almost a refracting of the image. It suddenly seems to tear in half and begin to move inward on itself as you glance through like a broken mirror.
Crescent at the base, right there.
I'm on it, and I'm immediately going.
Okay, just listen, go easy. He may have been down here. He's been down here by himself. I don't know. Appeal to him. Just do it slowly.
He's probably going to be tortured.
I'm pretty sure he is.
I'm thinking worse.
Let's see what happens then, as I give Grayson back his phone, and I will follow on the heels of Crescent.
I'll stay I'll stay near Onyx.
Okay, so Onyx and Waneka will stay by you guys as you stand towards the entrance of this area. Waneka leans back against the corner, back out to the threshold, and stares down the hallway, kind of keeping watch. Seems to be subtly aware. He's been a little bit on edge of his sense that little bit with Onyx there. As the two walk around one section of a corner and disappear deeper into this area behind some machinery, you quickly start to lose sight of them in the alleyways and mechanics going through here. But Acer and Crescent, you walk deeper. The lights fade out from red into darkness, led by Acer's flashlight. You lead to a far end, almost the farthest corner you can get into this area. As Crescent, you feel that panic in the back of your mind. You feel yourself starting to run cold. The deeper you get and the darker you get. What are some thoughts that are going through your mind as you're moving quickly?
Just confliction of almost her human side of he better not be hurt. Don't let him be hurt. Please, for the love of God, if there's any goodness in this world, please let everything be okay. And then the other side that's just conflicted of why do you even care? Why are you even here? You're putting everybody's lives at risk for this. Why is this so important to you? And it's just that back and forth confliction. But she's focusing kind of tunnel visioned on one step behind. And the first step is finding him.
And find him you do. As you both come around the corner, the first thing you see, tucked up against the tightest space you've seen, maybe barely a foot wide. The first thing you see is a boot. Dirty, dusty, and ragged, the ankle twisted at an odd angle. Acer, you shine your light in as you see a body. It is Enzo. His eyes are closed. His body is ashen gray. He is unmoving. He is crammed into the tightest corner you've seen in between an electrical box and a wall. As his head is jerked to one side, his mouth open, one arm is curled across his chest and holding himself. Can't see his other arm from this perspective. It seems to be twisted at probably the most uncomfortable angle he could be, as he is just a corpse to the world, and unmoving and locked.
I'm getting him out.
So you hear sickening cracks as Crescent grabs whatever she can and start pulling him out of this corner. And Crescent, it's hardy work as he is wedged in tight, as if he forced his way in there in a sudden state. You could see scratches and nail marks across the wall as he had seemed maybe have pulled himself into this space before finally succumbing. As you finally managed to pull him out, you see Acer quickly, his clothes have been shredded. A once fine buttoned-up shirt and expensive attire, shredded and torn and laying in rags on top of him. His arm is crossed to one chest, holding against the shoulder, but completely missing appendage. Then not cut or clean, torn. Muscle, bone, and sinew, broken at the elbow, lay right next to him, tucked into his side. His torso seems compressed. Probably many broken ribs. His entire body is torted in a very odd way, as if he'd been almost twisted and pulled in very, very dangerous ways. As Crescent has to pull him out into the main thoroughfare of this darkness, he has been mangled.
And through those descriptions, does it look more like someone was reaching for him and trying to pull him out, or more like someone was trying to attack him while he was in there?
Give me a wits plus medicine. Or wits plus investigation. On the two.
Let's see. Wits. And I'll do investigation, because that's actually higher. Two.
Can you get any higher?
If I want to roll a willpower.
Up to you.
Damn it, that's only a 3.
3? That's good enough. The 3 successes. It's a bit of a quick overglance, but it's conflicting. It definitely looks like he's been assaulted. Something tore at him from multiple angles very quickly. Shredded his clothes. Almost like if you've been trying to pull away from something, but it was holding on to your clothes, and it would tear and shred as you try to move away. His body looks horribly contorted, broken in several places. You can see along the shredded portion of his arm that's broken at the elbow, the flesh has been shredded. As if it's not been cut or pulled. It's as if something had grabbed it and twisted it until it broke. But that's the part that starts to look odd. You see where his arm is covering his torso. He kind of moves some of the clothes aside, and there's bruising on his ribs that match the shape of his own hand. A lot of the injuries he sustained was probably something trying to grab him. Forcefully, painfully. But a lot of
Do I remember what it is that did I see something? I knew that there was pain, but I can't remember if I saw.
You did not see anything. The sensations you felt were in complete darkness.
Gotcha.
As if you were probably seeing things through Enzo's eyes. But you did feel, at some point, a lot of pain before he finally succumbed to this area that he now finds himself in. But Acer, with a 3, it kind of horrifies you that his ribs, his arm, these look self-inflicted. These look like an act of desperation to tuck himself into the tightest fucking corner he could find to hide. Whatever he was dealing with had him so scared, so desperate, he tore his own arm off to get away and then broke his own bones so that way he could fit into the smallest corner possible before succumbing to hunger, torpor, you don't know. But he was terrified.
I will relay that information and just let Crescent know and just be like, you have to be careful when transporting him. He's in a very delicate state.
I'll relay too that I didn't see what hurt him. I just know that there was something that he was running from, and it was bad. I mean, it could be what we saw. I don't know. He couldn't see it in the dark.
Well, at this point, whatever he did to himself, he managed to live through it. Whatever attacked him, these wounds are the reason why he's alive. We have to get him back to the facility.
And let's get out of here.
Are we just gonna carry him?
What else can we do?
Trust me, I would not like to slow us down by carrying a body, but with all these injuries, I don't know if waking him up now is the best idea.
Can I go over and take a look at him?
And what are you looking for?
Just a general overlook, like more in Kindred standards. Like even if I was to give him time to heal, would he be more of a hindrance than help? With how badly he mangled himself.
Give me either a wits, probably wits plus occult.
Okay.
This is kind of a general understanding of kindred anatomy at this point.
3 successes.
3 successes. Kindred body is very reliable. The beast is not. If fed blood, though you're not sure how potent Enzo's blood is without any type of further attempts at testing it, I'm not sure you have that necessarily ability as a Tremere. I don't think you have that particular talent. But it is possible, as what Bertrand has always told you, to bring someone back from torpor, whether from injury or hunger, as long as someone more potent than him feeds him enough to wake him. Injury-wise, he could probably heal it, at least some of it, very quickly. The problem is, if he is starving, which he most likely is, he could slip into a frenzy the moment he gets a good taste. It's a delicate process to bring a beaten kindred back from the brink, as you would know, as most of you would know. The frenzy is a powerful thing, and he could quickly turn into a feeding frenzy. As he is, you can tell he's fragile. His body is holding, but the color he looks, it concerns you. If he takes much more damage, I'm not sure if his body can maintain itself much longer, but waking him up also poses separate risks to your well-being as well.
Well, do you want the honest answer, or do you want the little white lie?
Honest.
Medium wisdom.
If we wake him up, there's a very good chance, I would say an equal chance, that yes, he could walk, could at least move, but we would need to feed him with stronger blood, more than I can give right now. I don't think any of us could, and that's also considering that if that feed doesn't turn into more, he's broken, he's hurt. For a kindred, he's still stable. He won't take very much, his body is holding. But to be honest, I have to put my dice in the pool of, this is the way that I would prefer we get him out of here. We can raise him later. Either way, there are going to be possible consequences.
I could possibly do it.
Are you sure he's not going to go batshit crazy once you do?
You can't guarantee it. He might. He's fragile, especially after what he's went through.
I'm the one who got us down here. He's my responsibility at this point. I just need to be a little bit stronger than where I am right now.
Look, I brought a bunch of spare clothes with me. We can wrap it around him. I'll make some sort of makeshift carrying bag. We can get to the facility and we can wake him up there in one of the cells. It'll be a lot safer.
Not just for him, but for
Us.
all of us. I'm not in the best shape to fight off a starving vampire.
We still need some sort of backup plan. What if we run into some of them on the way out? He is very close to not being able to make it out of here.
We'll have to just be very quiet and find a way around them then. Worst case scenario, if we have to wake him up, then we can do so quickly by you feeding him some blood, but...
I need help.
You need to feed on somebody else.
Look, I'd offer, but I'm hungry myself, and we all know what happened last time I tried.
I just need a little bit of edge. Please, someone.
If it comes to that, I will give you some.
And how do we know we'll have enough time?
I'll make time.
Okay. I trust you guys, but let's just get him out. Warrenaka, do you know the quickest way out of here? Actually, no, we probably shouldn't take to the streets just yet. The quickest way out of here onto the streets that isn't Brujah territory would be great.
You look over, Crescent, as Varnica is standing at the entrance of this large threshold. The lights kind of flicker in the room for just a moment. Little flash. As he kind of leans back and forth, thinks, I could take a little noise, but I could probably get us through pretty quickly. I mean, look, the maintenance shafts are pretty close to the street. There's business centers. There's secondary pathways that humans go to move through and through in these tunnels. It's kind of the accessible portion of the sewer, so to speak. And I think I could probably get us at this point. The lights go out for a moment and then come back on, and he's gone.
Sense unseen immediately.
Immediately, as you hit the sense of the unseen, and you looked where he was just standing. There's nothing there. You go to where he was standing.
I scan the room. I don't walk towards that yet.
Do I hear anything or
Heightened
sense
senses?
anything? Yeah.
You do.
I mean, it's still popped.
You do, Onyx. As Acer, you guys are maybe about 6-7 feet away from him in between that flash of light, but he's just gone. Nary a sound for a moment before Onyx, that heightened senses. You hear a small noise. The sounds of something heavy slamming against walls, the whooshing of wind, and then a splash.
Guys, he's in trouble. Fuck. I just heard something fall and
The room is starting to get very cold.
You've got to be kidding me. There's no way. No, that's...
Grayson, now.
I lift up my shirt and I just hold my arm out to her. Go.
I'm gonna, as quick as I can, I'm just gonna take just one slate of hunger at least.
Okay. Immediately, Grayson, you feel teeth clamp down on you as quickly you feel blood being drawn from you. You immediately gain 2 hunger. As Crescent, you're able to slate 1 as you, in this few moments as this is going on. You, Acer and Onyx, you actually watch as Crescent clamps down onto her offering, drinking quickly. It does take a bit of time. At this moment, the lights are beginning to flicker rapidly on and off. This room is getting colder very quickly. It's going to take some time for her to feed for a moment. What are you guys doing?
drawing a gun and just kind of listening from where I heard him, you know, whatever happened to him.
All right, give me a wits plus awareness. You can add your aspects to this.
Okay.
Yeah, you know what? Yeah. I'm going to take a spare shirt, kind of roll it up, put a little knot in the center of it, and I'm going to put it around Enzo's mouth, almost like a gag, and kind of just hold on. Not enough for Crescent not to feed him, but enough to where if he wakes up in a frenzy, I can, like, hold him back.
Okay. Four successes. Onyx, your senses are alive. Wide-eyed. Looking for danger. Kind of standing next to the group. All you hear from him is just the sound of machinery. Water in the distance. You hear very faintly. Sounds like Omega.
Water.
That water, that... Isn't it sleuth? How can you fall in the sleuth? Because it walked so far. He had to move fast. And the room is getting cold. The lights kind of flickering. Doesn't really impede your vision. The flicking's starting to get more rapid as you hear. Sounds like something is moving.
Does it sound different to me than the zombies did?
100%. These sound like people. These sound like movements. You can hear rasping with them. You can hear gritting of teeth. You can hear angry sounds. Like, those were something you could understand. Given the circumstance with this, you don't know what this is. This doesn't make sense. It sounds like breathing air.
Guys, we need to get out of a dead end. This is far worse. We need to get out now. This is not zombies.
Crescent, hurry now.
It's funny, Crescent, you're able to pull your mouth back, your face just coated in blood, and Acer, as soon as that smell hits you. You feel yourself tightening, just kind of holding Enzo, putting it back in his mouth. You feel yourself kind of twist to the side, your teeth bidding you to it. I need you to make a hunger frenzy check.
Crit for 5.
5 successes. You are starving. That blood, Grayson's blood, it is vampire blood. You've tasted vampire blood before and know its temptations. How easy it could be you could finally bridge this weakness of the thin blood. You've been presented with that offer before and you turned away. And that there's a small part of you that still is calling back to that. To finally be away from this in-between, to finally move past and be sturdy and be strong. The beast almost seems to will it, but you just out of reflex breathe deep and just kind of tighten your wrists against that gag, holding Enzo to you, and you ground yourself. Not now. Not right. Not them. Not now. You're able to calm that raging beast as you could feel that cage begin to strain. The beast isn't even screaming. Doesn't even make a voice. You just hear that low, threatening growl as if it's about to break any second. But you hold it.
Please just wake him up.
I know his eyes are rolled back, but I'm looking into his eyes going, Lorenzo, don't you fucking disappoint me now again. And I will rip out wrist and put it in his mouth.
Okay.
Best I can. Put his head back.
Pull his head back as Acer's holding him down just in case, and you begin slice yourself open and let your vitae flee from you to Enzo. Give me a rouse check.
Storyteller, I have a question.
I have answers.
Does Grayson recognize that name as Crescent says it out loud?
Lorenzo specifically. Crescent as Haley. Did that name have ever slipped your lips back at the center during your days alive?
I was just about to tell Danica about my relationship with Enzo. Like, just about to. And that would have in turn to Grayson. So I don't think Grayson would have made the connection just yet.
And the only thing I have to ask on top of that, would she have written it down in a personal journal or anything that could be investigated?
Actually, probably. Yeah, no, Grayson encouraged me to have a diary after becoming sober and everything and leaving the center. So I would have had a diary that I probably would have written it down in.
And I collected all of her things after she was pronounced.
Mm-hmm.
Specifically the diary and the Game Boy.
Yep.
Grayson,
and the phone.
That name, Lorenzo. Yep. There's a brief passages in Crescent's diaries when she was still Haley, meeting a guy at one of her clubs, getting very close. She's very excited about him. And knowing Crescent as Haley at the time, in a love-struck romantic state, there's enough detail in there to make a critical judgment that Enzo is Lorenzo.
Grayson stands up, looks down at Crescent. What did you just say?
She's not paying attention.
I'm going to turn to him and be like, look, we don't have time to worry about her ex-boyfriend right now. We need to keep moving.
See the knuckles. The knucklers get put onto Grayson's hands.
Grayson, what do you feel right now?
Rage. Pouring red all over me now.
Give me a frenzy check.
What do I need to roll for this?
Unspent willpower, half your manny rounded down.
Okay, so...
As that dictator in your mind, you hear the knuckles crack almost at the same time as you crack your own, that these sound like the cracking of stone. As you never really had a target to blame Haley's death on before, all these years, you thought it was your fault. Thought you weren't good enough. And now you have enough pieces of the puzzle to see potentially how she was drugged into the world of darkness.
7 successes.
And you maintain yourself. You are writhing in fury right now. You are beyond angry. And your dictator is ready to jump through you if need be, but you catch yourself as you happen to look over your shoulder, and you can see with Sense the Unseen, there's a brief flash of movement swirling over each other, far, far down in this haze of miasma. You can't really see, you barely see through the red as it seems to go just straight through a set of doors past you. Didn't seem to notice you as you realize there's something here, multiple things here.
I'm gonna grab his collar at this point because no one has been listening to me. I'm gonna violently grab Grayson's collar and I'm just gonna point over in the corner. I'm like, get over your beef with this asshole and help over there or we're gonna die. Dead.
Grayson looks down as she grabs his collar, grabs her shoulder. I'll deal with that in a moment. As he pushes her away, and he turns towards what she said. I will say, because of my role, he is just enough in control not to, throw her away instead.
You could try.
No, he hasn't. I would say I had enough self-control for now.
For 7 successes?
Roll an intellect.
For 7 successes, that's pretty good. Keeping the trimmer away.
You're still gonna get a nasty growl out of me as I ready my weapon, and I don't even look at you guys, and I'm moving forward towards that.
You're moving towards the hallway?
At least getting closer, because we gotta get ready for whatever the hell is coming down.
Is enough. Grayson, the moment as you move, Crescent is actively feeding Enzo at this point. Ace, you're holding him back. What do you want to help with? As another the lights flick off for a moment, then flick back on again, this time getting longer.
I'm going to go back. I'm going to back Onyx up, so I'm going to head towards the door as well.
Okay.
I'm going to basically sidle up to not in the doorway, but basically next to it.
Fair enough. You scrape against the corner as Onyx is watching down the threshold, just ready for any movement that might come through. And Onyx, you don't see anything. You do hear things still. The sound of metal creaking, sudden temperature changes. The room is still getting rapidly colder. At this point, you feel like if you're still human, you can probably see your breath. As Crescent, what's your rouse check?
2 successes?
2 successes. You maintain yourself. Since you rolled 2, it's just a rouse. You're good. You managed to not get hungry as you pump as much Vitae you can. Let me check Enzo. So I'm just going to be clear how you give him 2 rouse checks worth then.
Yes.
Okay. His potency is at a 2. Yours is at a 3. So, let me see something.
You have the highest potency out of all of us. There's a reason you can't feed off of me.
Dude, I'm not arguing against it. I'm not at all.
Crescent, as you begin feeding Enzo, the moment the Vitae hits his mouth, nothing. But you hear as his leg suddenly jerks and snaps back into alignment. You watch his rib and realigning himself, and his torso expands. His eyes go monstrously wide as he jerks to move and then falls back, eyes closed, his skin graying once again. His body is healing, but that effort to heal seems to have hungered him further more. At this point, the lights do flicker again. As Grayson, you peering down, these things are trying to hide from you. Another flash of blue, much closer this time. You duck your head back as you count 3 of these strange, just void-like forms, just tossing over each other, just careening through the wall itself. The very wall you're standing, you feel it vibrate a little bit as now there is ice beginning to form against the wall across your back. The wet you feel of your body is starting to frost over. And those lights go out. And then barely flicker back on. Whatever is coming is close.
I'm gonna try and feed him more.
How many rouse checks are you gonna give him?
I'm gonna do another 2.
Take 2 more rouse checks. In the meantime, I know, Acer, you're still holding him just in case, but Grayson and Onyx...
I don't have anything that I can do if it's non-corporeal, so I'm still waiting to see something to shoot at.
All you can hear is the sound of metal doors opening and slamming somewhere in the distance in a strange direction. You hear the sound of churning, funneling wind moving carefully. You have an acute sense of how freezing is getting in this room. It would be actually dangerous for a mortal to be exposed to this wet for long, as you can now hear, Enzo, behind, he's close, behind. These strange voices overlapping over each other as it seems to just swirling this vortex.
All right, devil, you better have some voodoo up your sleeve. I'm saying that to Grayson.
So sense the unseen, I can see them, right?
You can.
And do they have a form, or are they just gaseous? Or gases?
Are you trying to identify maybe what you saw?
Yes.
Give me an intelligence plus occult.
Okay. Intelligence and occult. Okay, come on, baby. Do not fail me.
Don't forget your rouse roll, so you don't forget it this time, Crescent.
Oh no, I got it. I've got it in my head.
Perfect, thank you.
4 successes.
4 successes. Virtual was very giving in his knowledge of things you need to be worried about. A laundry list of things that can come around from using magic recklessly. Things that exist in the world of darkness are not just vampires. We showed you a few books on them as well. These things, there's a small of these wispy voids that happen to almost catch your eye as you duck back, just kind of checking back and forth, and there are 3 of them. These are specters. Very similar to Arya, but Arya was different. She maintained her form. She maintained what she would look like, most likely as a human, but incorporeal. Sometimes semi-translucent when visible. These things are old. These things have long passed on from the mortal coil, and the way they look, they've been pulled back from where they were. These things are angry. These things are vicious, and they have a tendency to be very problematic to anyone's mental state, including Kindred. And they're on a mission. And they're very dangerous. With a 4, I'll say you would understand that as long as they remain corporeal, they can be fought. As long as they stay incorporeal, though, you can do very little to hurt them.
Do I know anything to maybe distract or ward them off?
With 4 successes? Good question. To ward off specters is difficult. I'll say with a 4, a specter is only as strong as its hold is on this world. Its will has to be intact. If it becomes unstable mentally, if it becomes anguished and distracted, it could lose its ability to function properly in this world for a time. However, the part that concerns you, and it's difficult, these things seem to be moving on a mission. There's purpose. Arya was frazzled. She had a direct focus against Crescent, but once she lost hold in the catacombs of Medico, and she couldn't maintain her sanity, she fizzled away. Where she is now, you're not sure, but she wasn't gone. So that you think you could do something similar with these things, but seem to be very focused. Not like Arya. They're not chaotic. They're on a direct path, looking. They're hunting. So, distraction? Possible. They seem to be extremely hostile and angry. But to disable them? Breaking their will would be one thing. You're not sure necessarily how to do that, but anything's your best guess. Angering them? upsetting them further. Unless you have access to whatever probably they're bound to, which in this situation you probably don't.
I knew I should have talked. I knew I should have gotten a war.
Does Grayson share that information at all?
I will say I'm repeating this to myself.
Okay.
Not very loudly, but enough, I will say.
Okay. Storyteller, do I hear that info?
I'll say you guys are in close proximity, enough proximity to hear Grayson muttering this information out, not necessarily telling it to anybody in specific, but more like when someone is recounting information and trying to lock it in and investigate it further, trying to find answers. So you do hear him saying this information.
Okay. As I'm still holding down Enzo and Crescent's still feeding him, I'm gonna turn to Grayson and just be like, "What? What'd you say? Something about will? Them losing their will?"
Unless I had something to break whatever's holding them, yes, it's something we could do, but these are driven. But if we were to disrupt their will, maybe make them lose focus long enough, because we can't fight them as they are now.
That bag of ash. Do you have that bag of ash?
I never put it down. Yes, what about it?
Go out there, convince them that's Enzo. That might shake their will enough.
Oh.
Those things are targeted, right? If they think he's dead, they lose their will to hunt him.
Right. Yes.
Oh.
Crescent, at this second, what is your rouse checks?
It was only one.
So you begin one failure.
One failure, one success.
That orchid that had so sweetly begun to slumber begins to violently open once again, its light shining around you as you're back at 3 hunger, and you feel yourself drying as your very life essence is pouring into Enzo as he slates another 2 hunger.
Come fucking bastard.
This moment, Enzo's eyes shoot wide open. Color begins to rapidly rush to his skin. And let's see if he can hold himself. I'm going to say, with the amount of exertion he had pulled himself, he is going to have 3 willpower left over, at least. So that is probably down closer to 5 now. So 5 dice. Grayson, you're starting to hear those whispers now as they're closer.
We don't have a lot of time to discuss this.
And then
I'm going to have to try something.
Onyx, all of you hear sharp, as Crescent, you feel sharp teeth clamp hard down onto your wrist as Enzo's eyes go wide out again, just gripping you with one arm as he can, just holding you close before, and immediately Acer's you that a hold of you cover his mouth.
Oh yeah, I gotta make sure that he's not frenzying, so yeah, I'm just gonna
immediately you put the bite in his mouth as soon as there's a moment to, and it's just,
oh, relax, you can't breathe anyways. Now shut up. Raise your hand if you're okay.
His eyes have gone completely wide as he's immediately rapidly looking around. Then he slowly takes his free hand and just slowly lifts a finger. And he is shaking.
Okay, I think he's good. And I'm going to take away the gag.
What's in here? Crescent? My blood!
Here. Yeah, we're saving your stupid ass.
What the fuck are you doing down here?
This is not a time to go back
Can
and
we
forth.
just get to the chase of what we need to do?
Eleanor set them as those lights go out again. They're not coming back on, and the room is now beyond frigid.
Okay, yeah.
It's a stay behind Crescent.
I'm trying to shield him as much as I can, even though I have a tiny body. I will do it.
Okay, so the 3 of you are moving.
I will also, yes, and I will, again, take out spare cloak, and since I know they're drenched, I'm hoping that kind of masks him, so I'm just going to throw it over him, stand in front of him, and kind of like push him against the wall to like behind Crescent and I, so he's hidden as much as humanly possible.
So, to be clear, for you two, are you trying to, the three of you, hide together, or are you just trying to hide him?
We're
I
just trying
want
to hide
to
him.
hide him. Like, I'm hoping the plan that I told Grayson works, and, they don't see him.
So you're just trying to cram him back into the corner you found him?
More or less. Not trying to break his bones to shove him in there, but, trying to make him as small as possible to hide behind us.
Okay. We'll see if those roles are applicable in a moment. For Grayson and Acer, the only light source left in this room is the illumination of your flashlights that flicker very weakly every now and then, and the room gets deathly quiet. Onyx, you feel a cold brush of air just fly right past you. It billows your hair off to the side, and you just go, why? As you swear to God, something just went right past you. Crescent, cold air comes right in front of you. Grayson, are you doing anything?
Am I seeing these?
Oh, yes. As immediately these specters have torn themselves through the room, and they haven't locked onto anybody just at this second. But they have just arrived.
Can I say I had the bag of ashes in my hand?
Did you leave it at the center?
No, I did not. I remember I did not specifically say I dropped them off.
Okay, I will say you can pull them out. As you see these specters immediately begin pouring themselves into the wall. One charges straight through very rapidly, which what blew past Onyx. But then as it rears it back around, you see one hand pull through the wall, bony and taloned, pulling forward that same skull-like wispy business. A face seems to overlap over itself. A pained anger expression of a young man, probably could have been in his late 30s. Another one of a woman pulling itself down from the ceiling, kind of skitters along the top of it as it looks down and sees all of you. One pulls right at your feet, runs through you, and skitters along the floor, coming along as they immediately start looking at everybody who's not hiding, because they see all of you. And I'll say, Grayson, you're the first one to act, because you can actually see them if you're doing something in a second.
I put my hand in the bag and I pull out the dust and say, hear me now. Your quarry is gone. And I start to rub the ash between my hands as it falls to the ground. This is all that's left. Take that back to your master.
The heads all immediately snap to you. This is going to be a social conflict. A battle of wills and deception.
Goody. My favorite.
As I have to ask three of you, as Grayson calls out and begins crumbling this ash in his hand, Onyx, you can see it. You can't see the specters, but you can see everything else clear as day still thanks to your senses. As Grayson seems to be looking in three different directions rapidly as he begins pulling this ash and crumbling out in front of himself. What are the three of you doing?
Making no noise whatsoever, because the more attention that's drawn in this direction, the more of a chance that they might see him. So, staying still, covering Enzo as much as possible. That's it.
Alright. Crescent?
Yeah, I'm basically following Acer's lead, staying as quiet as possible. And I'm kind of gonna have a hand, on my gun, but not exactly drawing it out, just out of comfort. I know it's probably not gonna do anything, but it's just
You both are tucked against this corner as you can feel Enzo has hit the ground when you pushed him, covered in whatever garments you can give him, using your bodies to try and block him into the shield, but both of you are terrified. You could feel the air become frigid, and every sense on your mind is screaming, danger, danger, danger. I need composure and resolve for the both of you. Onyx, what are you doing?
It's already past me. They've already passed me, right?
Something just blew past you, and then Grayson started speaking. And you can hear these whispers of,
I'm gonna very carefully and very slowly start backing towards where they came, away, and trying to hear if I can hear anything else happening.
Are you looking for more, or are you trying to look for something specific?
I'm looking to see if we, what happened to Wameka.
Go ahead, and for this would be a wits plus awareness plus aspects, because you are using your heightened senses to try and hear.
Mm-hmm.
3. Okay. Crescent.
3.
Okay.
4.
4. Unswayable mind would be useful for this, by the way.
Oh! Woohoo! An extra dice, yay!
You guys are trying to keep your cool.
That's another success, bud.
5. 3. 3's the margin. So success. Onyx. The 3. It's very distracting at the moment. It's a lot of pressure in here. You can feel it pushing down on you. But you do hear faintly in the distance, damn it, shit, son of a bitch, God, and the small sound of scraping metal. There's the sounds of effort. Wow, Neka looks like he didn't get flushed, but he's holding on as you can hear that familiar sound of that ladder shaking against metal. They flung him down that maintenance tunnel all the way back to the sluice.
Whew. Okay. I'll just continue kind of very carefully going back towards that to make sure he's okay.
You're going to leave the group?
Yeah.
Okay. Grayson, as soon as you pull the ashes out, all 3 of these heads rotate almost like an owl swivel, look down at you. And at this moment, as Onyx slowly begins to back away out of the room, the 3 of you watch as these shadows begin to move. Like an inky tar, it begins to almost fade in like a toxic mist. The red light flicker, illuminating their form as they have corporealized themselves and begin moving towards Grayson, the one on the ceiling. Crescent, you had no idea, but there's one inches from your face as if looks over to you, Acer, as he gets right up to you, and you can smell the death these things just carry. His eyes just bore through you as you can see, again, the strange skeletal face has these maskings of human expression for a moment that seems to flicker in and out rapidly as it gets right up to you, his eyes wide. And then it also turns his head to look at Grayson, the last, a much bigger one. That 30-ish-year-old man. Crescent, you recognize that face as it turns its form looking towards Grayson and begins to lean towards him, its arms outstretched and disproportionate. You recognize that face. You recognize that face that flashed across its form. Can't be. There's no way it can't be. It's impossible. But you know the face of people you've killed. You remember the faces of people you've taken out. And that's Arya's dad.
Who's?
Arya's father. Crescent murdered. But Grayson, even without your sense of the unseen, you can see them now as the largest of these specters come towards you. He looks at the shadows, looks at the ashes, looking back at you. Proof lies in deceitful kindred. This is a bag of dirt. We look for a body. Do you hide him? Where is he? Give him to us.
You poor, poor things. You do not understand our world. We do not leave bodies when we die. We return to the nothingness, to ash. You want proof? It merely lies at my feet. Ashes of a kindred.
Give me manipulation plus subterfuge.
Oh, I don't have any of that.
You have 9 die in the bag. That's what you
Yeah.
Yep. Oh wait, I do have some manipulation. I'm going to go ahead and take. I'm going to go ahead and take about 3 from the blood bag then. Finally, the dice. Okay, it's not bad. 5 successes. 5 successes.
5 successes. Okay.
Not terrible.
Roll against him. This is going to be against this creature's wits. This will be against this creature's wits and insight against you. How many you said you got?
5?
5. Its eyes go wide as it looks at the bag, looks down, looks back up at you. That's its head. Succeed the margin of 1. As it will take a point of superficial willpower damage.
Oh.
It looks to the bag, it looks to you. Don't patronize me, foul death. I have not been gone long from this world. In fact, the head spins around 180, looks directly at you. I remember you. All of a sudden, the specter jumps right in front of you, Crescent. You feel the front of your vest begin to lift a little bit as all of a sudden you're starting to become suspended. Onyx, you're still trying to slip away? As you see Crescent's being a little threatened at this second.
Yeah. It's a long way over to the other guy, right?
You would have to sprint to get to Wawaneka if he's in any type of danger.
Does he does he sound okay? I just don't want to lose our guide.
It's hard to say.
I'll pause. I'll wait. I'm just gonna look a little bit torn, but I mean, I don't know what she can do.
You hesitate for now. As Acer, you watch as this creature is right by you, but it's hovering over Crescent, looming over her. As Grayson, you feel both of your arms begin to feel a sudden jerking pressure. Are you trying to resist?
Who's doing this now? Do I know what's doing?
Yes. As you look, 2 of these specters have come on you, and you actually see they're now hovering right in front of you, their eyes looking at you, as you can feel a force starting to push at your body very aggressively. Well, you know, because you can react if you want to. You can try and stop against this force, or you can allow them to hold you.
I will resist them then. I need to show them I'm not willing to back down.
Okay, I'm going to need you to go ahead for this. This is going to be against your... I'll say this is going to be your strength and athletics.
That's good.
As they're going to try and basically telekinetically hold you.
Can I rouse them?
Absolutely.
Cool. I do not get hungrier.
You do not.
Okay. 4 successes.
4 successes. They also got 4. But I would say the tie to the player. Grayson, you feel your arm suddenly lurch out sideways as very violently as you're about to be picked up and slammed against the wall, but you flex back into it. You're not able to bring your arms back down to your side, and your body is shaking as it feels like iron grips have just grabbed you by the wrists and shoulders and threatens to lift you up, but you hold your ground steady in front of these 2, and they bear down on you, mouth agape. As you guys are in this locking stalemate, but you hold your ground against it as you look to see Crescent. Crescent, you feel a force start to lift you closer. You try and fight yourself.
At first, maybe, but no.
Grayson, you watch as Crescent slowly begins to lift off her feet closer and closer to the specter, its mouth eyes wide. You, Eleanor's child. I have the insult of seeing you again. Grayson, are you going to react?
Yes, I'm going to try and... Because I see it lift her up. And what of your master? Do you think that they would approve of what you are doing to her and I? You think there will be no repercussions?
Ooh. That's very good.
I love that, actually.
Is this more of a persuasion or a threat?
Persuasion.
I'll say
Definitely
for this,
persuasion.
to not tip your hand, to not show the worry you feel for Crescent, the risk that she's suddenly in, composure and persuasion.
Okay, you can do that. Okay, only 3 successes this time.
3 successes. Margin of 1 again. Crescent, you, as your body slowly begins to lift up, your eyes wide as you're down just nose to nose with this creature, this face of Arya's father, this man just in agonized anger, his lips curled back into a snarl much farther than any human anatomy could hold. As you were just staring at death in the face, you feel as a hand comes up to your throat and your head begins to start to turn uncomfortably to one side, and it begins to push it to the point where it won't go any further, and your mind is starting to worry, is he going to rip your head off? All of a sudden, you drop to the ground as it spins around, looking back at you, Grayson. You don't understand, as it comes straight up into your face, Grayson, as you're still holding the stalemate, but now you look up at the specter as it glares, barrels down on you. Its form just begins to envelop wider and wider as it kind of hovers over you, looming. It's her fault we're stuck like this. You don't understand. How could you get it? I didn't deserve to die like this. But you're liars. She's a liar. You're a coward. As it stares over down at you, Onyx. And the thin one. I can smell his fear a mile away. You are all liars. Deceivers. Cruel monsters.
I'm sorry, all I can hear is you describing exactly what the humans are like. It's strange. It almost sounds like we're not too different.
It leans down close, getting very close to your face, Grayson. Yes. Liars. We are all liars. So you can't be trusted. As all of a sudden, its hands clasp against the side of your face, as it is freezing cold. As these hands envelop the back of your head, you can feel sharpened bone poking against the back of your flesh, almost penetrating through where it feels like it's scratching against your skull. So open your mind. As the mouth opens wide and it gapes, and it just screams, this ear-piercing scream right in your face. You feel all of your psyches begin to shake and quiver. Onyx, you especially, in your current state, as a supernatural force begins to tear its way through this room. And for you, I need you to make a terror frenzy check. Not run.
Okay.
And Grayson, I need you to, in this case, you feel a force begin to push into your mind. You feel this scream begin to cut through and threaten to reach the deepest, darkest portions of you. No longer Grayson, past who you are, past to your very beast. You feel it like meat hooks cutting through your mind, cutting into the Dictator, and begin to drag him to the surface. I need you to resist a denutation. Composure and intelligence.
Okay.
Wait,
Okay.
I'm gonna resist a what now?
Denutation.
Demutation.
This
Yes,
is very
of
new.
course. Demutation, obviously. Yes.
Yes.
What is that?
Mhm.
Yes, right.
Well, out of character, Onyx might know what that is, because it's kind of privy to her clan as a specialty.
Ah.
Fantastic. Yes. So what is that?
Yeah.
It's translated to "we're fucked," I think.
Yeah. Newbie dip? Newbie moth, what does that mean?
Demutation is a form of mental trauma that immortals can break them down to whatever mental cracks or mental issues they already have, can become full-blown psychiatric meltdowns. In vampires,
okay, I remember this one.
In vampires, it can basically break a vampire's mind and send their beast to the surface.
Yep, I remember this one now.
Wait, he's trying to invade my mind.
He is.
Doesn't swayable mind work?
It does.
One more die. Yes. 5.
5 successes.
5. Oh, I don't need my beast to come out right now. Forever. Please and thank you.
I'm not scared.
Also,
You're scared.
Storyteller, I don't know what to roll for that. I'm sorry.
Oh, I apologize. Terror Frenzy. Unspent willpower. Half your humanity rolled down.
Cool.
And for this, Actually, it's not fair. You've already called your roll. I can't do that. You've already called your roll, so not fair.
This motherfucker was trying to pill from his pile.
I was going to.
Cool piles.
The old pile.
And what's your terror check, Onyx? 4 successes. That's what you needed.
Oh,
God.
As that red rock shack of fear begins to almost break your mind in half, you hear in the back of your mind your inner beast, fuck, girl, fuck this shit, girl, fucking run, go, go, go! And you manage to just hold your ground as you are white-knuckling and shaking at what you're witnessing.
This thing has a body now, right?
In a way. You can see it.
But it's still, like, not corporeal.
It's corporeal. It's just a body in the basic term is loosely translated, but it is physical.
Can I shoot it?
Go ahead and give me a Dex plus firearms.
I don't think I'm in a very good mental state to know. I'm just scared shitless and there's something to shoot. So.
Actually,
are we going to shoot at something? Let's shoot at something. Do it.
This would be more of a composure in firearms to see if you're actually shooting what you're supposed to be shooting.
Cool.
Please, I've already been shot multiple times before.
It's fine. Don't worry about it. It's fine.
That's
6
not very
successes.
aggressive.
We're all gonna die and everything's fine.
Grayson, as you feel those hooks tear into the Dictator within your own mind, it's child's play. They punch through so quickly. There's no bite. And you just shrug as your inner Dictator just brushes a hand across his chest and the hole just immediately evaporates. Its eyes go wide in sudden realization before pop, 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 6 shots ring out, causing you all to kind of duck your heads and just deafen for a moment as 6 holes just tear through the side of this creature. Just, part of it just kind of spirals off as it just vanishes out of the way. Immediately, both of the other specters look to Onyx, and they're on you.
I am panicked.
Grayson, unless anybody wants to do something in a second.
Did they just let go of me?
They just both let go of you, and they looked at Onyx as she's the one that just unloaded probably 6 shots into this thing.
Well, she attacked. They're not backing down now, so Acer is going to quickly take out his dagger, try and stab one of them.
Grayson, you're the one that did resist. You can react first if you want to do something.
I am absolutely about trying to cave a head in.
You're going to just start swinging?
I'm just going to start swinging.
All right, we've gone to full-blown conflict in this last round. This last one is dissipated. This first one is dissipated for now. Acer, you're rushing the first one. Grayson, you're attacking one. Crescent, what are you doing in this moment as you've hit the ground?
I'm gonna look back at Enzo, but then I'm gonna snarl, pull my guns out, and I'm gonna start firing at the ones going to Onyx.
Okay, so Grayson's attacking one. Crescent can also be attacking another one, unless you guys want to pile in onto this one.
I'll go for the one that Acer is aiming for.
Okay, so
I can
Acer and Grayson are going for the same one. Cressler, are you piling on one or are you going for the other?
I'm assuming I'll see them going after the one, so I'll go after the other.
Okay, so Grayson, you just swinging?
I'm just swinging.
All right, brass knuckles out. You go wide and just go straight for the first one that's closest to Onyx. It's going to be a strength plus brawl. Grayson, dexterity plus melee. Crescent, yours going to be a composure plus firearms.
How fun!
It's less matter about handling your gun. It's a matter of not hitting people.
Me, dex and melee.
Okay, that's what I thought.
No,
yeah,
Grayson is strength and brawl.
Yeah.
Yeah. I only got 2.
Okay, that willpower is worth it. 5 for me.
5 successes. All right.
5 successes.
All right, Acer, what do you got?
2.
2 successes. You want to keep that roll?
I don't have a choice.
Back,
I can't feel like I shouldn't.
Okay.
Not with this roll.
All right, and Crescent? 5 successes. So, Grayson, as this conflict breaks out in a neck of a flash, I will say we're at the tail end of that social fight. Actions are dispensed, actions are going through. However, I'm going to offer you the chance because you succeeded in this demutation. Is there a way you're going to try and use this to try and scare them away? Or just threaten them into submission? As that's a lot of damage flying left and right as a sudden move.
I would like, if I can break the will, that is what I'm intending, that is what I was originally intending to do. So if I can basically show enough dominance, then yes.
How do you want to try and do that?
Because they wanted the Dictator, I was going to let him speak a little bit. Not give him control, but I was going to let him speak.
You are as the scene is moving out, Acer has rushed in, a dagger goes wide as it just completely nearly misses, cutting you in the face as you push from the side. You come in for a hard moving hit, your brass knuckles gleaming through the dark light of a muzzle flash as Crescent puts 5 rounds into the Spectre right next to Onyx. The bullets flying right through and nearly missing her. You spin around in reaction as several holes appear in the Spectre in the slow motion movement. Grayson, you land on top of yourself with this blow. How do you want to push this with the Dictator? Physical can sometimes translate to social in the right circumstances. As I bear down on this spirit, I basically do enough to get it to go to the ground, and then I grab the back of its neck, where I think it is. I make sure that my nails slowly begin to come out as it carves away at the skin. And I bring my head very close to its ear, or just where I assume the ear would be. Side of its face is fine.
Side of its face. And I get close to it. At this point, I assume a few of them can hear me. It is a distinct difference. There's no hint of any type of nurturing nature in Grayson's voice as he leans down to this creature. No. How could you have been worthy? You're so far gone from this world, they've forgotten about you. Everybody's forgotten about you, and you just can't let go. It is just so pathetic. Why don't you do everyone a favor and just disappear? Go.
And you let your Dictator come to the surface just a little bit.
I do.
This is going to be a resolve plus intimidation. As you all kind of in this moment almost freeze in slow motion as you hear Grayson's voice come above the chaos as that last spectre that vanished for a moment tears itself back into the manifest as it begins to loom over Grayson. These words come out. What's your role, Grayson?
Fucking damn it!
If you want to get things to burn,
Unfortunately, I cannot. That is one success, and there's a pair of criticals on the red die.
Messy criticals.
Yes.
Well, might as well lean into it.
Grayson. 5 successes is a lot of successes. But your voice doesn't come out as your own. In fact, all of you hear this. Grayson, your beast comes to the full surface, not a little bit. Not even a hair's of a mouth. Grayson, for the first time in a while, being peaceful is not going to get you through this anymore. Let me help you. As you, in your mind, put your hands up. A smile on your face, you step back just a moment as your dictator comes through, as the beast himself comes through. You don't show restraint. You grab this wraith by the throat when you hit it, and it hits so hard into the concrete, it cracks. As soon as the other wraith you're speaking to, Ariana's father comes through, you literally spin around without even looking. Just grab it with your other hand, holding it in place. His claws reach up to try and grab at the throat. You don't speak to them on the ground. Your head just slowly turns, and you look to the one behind you. And so do you do, as you continue to squeeze and lodge as Grace's hand is the one on the ground, just without even getting a chance to scream, disintegrates into ashes. You bring the other one in front of you, Grayson. Now holding it in front of your face, you bring it close. You say what you do. Its eyes go wide in fear. Take a stain. In fact, you take 2 stains. As there's no mercy in your voice, you squeeze. The wraith begs, no. Fine, please. As that anger begins to fade, and you can see it go into an express state of weeping.
Oh, fucking pathetic. Just stop your mewling.
Please, we'll take it. Following commands, Eleonora's commands, please.
What are we going to tell her? Because I need to hear something right now. I'm just not. I need to hear something that I want to, and I'm not hearing it yet. Now I want to hear just that we are going to tell Eleanor what she wants to hear. He's gone, and you are not going to say anything else, and you are going to disappear into the black fucking pit that you are always meant to, and if I ever see you again, I'm going to drown you in that pit.
We have no choice. She holds our fetter. Just give us the ash. We will go. Let us go, please.
I take out the bag. I'll hold it out to them in front of this one. And as it reaches his hand up, I drop the bag. Pick it up. Go. And I turn away from them.
You let him go.
I dig my claws back very slowly.
Please.
Now, crawl back. Goodbye. And I turn from them.
Immediately the spectre floods out onto the ground. It looks up to the rest of you, wide-eyed. The other one manages to re-evaporate, but its form quickly just whisks away. Or his father brings just a shadowy limb around the small sack, and within a moment it's gone. You all stand there, wide-eyed at what just happened. Onyx, as this now tentatively transitions into scene, your mind starts to come into a bit of clarity as your compulsion does fade. You all watch as Grayson stands proud. You crack your knuckles and crack your neck. And the Dictator doesn't retreat back. In your mind, as you kind of just close your eyes and begin to calm down a little, that brief exposure sated, you feel the Dictator just simply walk past you, place a hand on the shoulder of your essence and leans over. Now that is how you clear a pest. Take note, and you feel a small squeeze as your own Dictator pushes against you and walks and sits back on his throne, granting you permission to move again.
Grayson. Please tell me it's you.
I think we need to leave.
I'll just kind of quietly stare at him, because it reminded me of my own mental breakdown. And I just nod, and then kind of point towards the thing. I can hear Waunaka this way.
Grayson, help Enzo. I'll follow Onyx then.
Yeah, we're headed out.
What do you do, Crescent?
I'm staring at Grayson for a few seconds longer, and then I'll kind of blink myself back and turn back to Enzo and be like, right, yeah.
Okay. He kind of gives you an arm and holds himself up. You can see he has been clutching himself against the wall. He is shaking. Out of character, he's been rolling terror frenzy this entire fucking time. But he clings to you as you help him up to his feet, and he is very weak. He limps on one leg, leans onto you. You're so stupid. You shouldn't have tried to look for me. As he leans on you.
Tell me that again.
Yeah, fucking stupid.
Do you know what we risked for you? I don't want to hear it right now.
Grayson, you just stand there and let them pass as you hear Enzo's voice.
After the Dictator, he hears them, but he decides not to look up. Not this time.
In a few moments, Crescent, you helping Enzo, and he leads upon you. Do you leave Grayson behind? Or do you wait for him to follow?
I'll stop for a moment. And I'll debate going, but I'll wait for him.
Grayson, what do you do in this time?
I take a moment, put back on my glasses, where I take a moment, just before I put them back on, I look to see if there's another reflection in them, in my eyes, and once I see, I put them back on, and I turn back around and I look at my outfit, and
it's soaked and filthy.
Maybe just this one time. And I make my way towards the door to leave.
You all begin to move your way through. Backtracking your steps after a while, NECA. Onyx, as you were moving at a brisk pace, I'm assuming.
Yeah.
Acer,
wherever I hear him.
Acer, quickly catching up to you.
Those wraiths are going to tell Eleanor that Enzo's dead. It might be best if we tell Y and NECA the same.
She's right.
That way he has no involvement in this. He doesn't get in trouble. He has the same involvement as the wraiths.
Exactly how are we going to keep it from him? We need Enzo here in order to for him to guide us the way out.
Oh, not good.
Can't can't hide him from Wild Neko while he's still our guide.
Say I stayed behind to grieve. I don't know. Something.
I have a better option, as Enzo speaks up.
And that would be?
Kill me. He lets go. He lets go of you, Cress, as he pushes you away to stand on his own. He limps back a bit. He leans against the wall, his back straightening up as he kind of clutches at the shredded mess of what used to be his arm. You are idiots, all of you. You don't understand what you've just done.
Are you fucking kidding me?
No, I am not.
Do you realize what we risked to be here?
Yes, and it was fucking stupid.
Well, we're here because we fucking care. Or at least I do, unlike you.
Eleonora is going to diablerize me. She is going to drink everything that is me and then take me. And then I'll forever be added to her little collection of Black Widow children that she's been doing for hundreds of years.
So that's your saddest story.
You want to know the fucking story? Eleanor's going to fucking diablerize me, and then when she's done with me, she's coming after you. And because you guys helped me, guess what? She's going to tear through all of you, and then she's going to eat you last, Crescent. She picked you. And you know what? Even better, she fucking caused you. You think she's just this sweet mother? No. She's not just some abused mother. You ever take a fucking second to think about it? No, you probably didn't, because she had you slurping down her veins so goddamn deep, you don't even know which way the sun moves anymore. You made a mistake of coming to find me. You should have let me die, and let this die with me. She saw your shitty little fucking life. She ruined it. Who do you think sent me? Night at the club. Who do you think caused you and your ex-druggy boyfriend to meet? Everything was so nice for you and your family. Your dad was busy, sure. Your mom was a little narcissistic, sure. Everything fucking changed when they found a little bit of religion, apparently. Speaking in confidence, going to therapy, who do you think was talking to them? She groomed you, Crescent! She took everything in your life and she fucking ruined it! She ruined your dad? She ruined your mom? She dropped you as far down the fucking pit as she could shove you.
And how am I supposed to believe you? You lied to me worse than anyone I've ever known.
Didn't want to.
You lied to me. Every fucking step of the way, you lied. And don't you dare try and pull that bullshit. You were the worst. You used me, the worst out of anybody, and that's saying something. So don't you fucking sit here and pretend like you care.
He just smiles as bloody tears that come down the front of his face, just shakes his head. Yeah, I'm the worst. I'm the worst.
Can I insight Enzo to see what he is feeling at this moment?
It's an insight.
You know what? For this, I'm actually going to risk it. I'm going to rouse.
The rouse check.
Thank God, success. Ooh, okay. 4, 5, 6 successes.
Enzo, as bloody tears fall down the front of his face, smiles and just shakes his head, looking at Crescent, looking at the rest of you, but mainly just staring through Crescent. Despite that bravado in his face, that smile, his eyes say differently. He is in pain. He is bleeding internally. is tormented and terrified.
Okay. Then Acer is going to step up and just be like, yes, we're stupid. We have no idea what we're getting into. When I voted for the La Sombra to come in, I had no clue I would be the speaker. And even more so, when she had to face that psychopath of an anarch, I had no clue that I would kill him and become Primogen. But at this point, Enzo, and I'm just going to completely ignore him, we came for you. We saved you. You're our property now. You die when we say you die. So get your shit together, because you have a lot to answer for. We're going, and you're living. That's final.
Give me a charisma plus leadership, and you can throw your Primogen status in there too when you drop that name.
Yep, no leadership, so it's just 2...
Can I add on for this?
If you're trying to help, you can add on if you want.
Yes.
How are you trying to help us?
As he says this, I wanted to look up in Enzo's direction. You heard him. He is the new Primogen, which means he's got a little bit of say in this world now. And it's saying, we are not done with you yet. I sure as hell not either.
Go ahead and add your extra die, Acer.
Okay. 7.
7 successes. Big ballsy Acer all of a sudden.
I saw all I needed to see, so I need him to live now.
For
presence sake.
Can I try and see anything else? Focus on him.
What are you trying to glean from him?
I mean, I already saw a little bit of what he's saying, but I would like to see if I can get any truth out of what he's saying.
Are you trying to see if he's lying, or are you trying to use premonition?
Premonition.
I see.
I want to see if I can actually see anything for proof.
Okay, give me a rouse check.
Yeah. Success.
All right. For this, go ahead and give me a resolve plus aspects.
Ugh, 5.
Fuck!
I'm sorry.
One of these days, I'm gonna get that premonition. And it's gonna just ruin you. One of these days, I'm gonna do it. I love it. Love it, but I hate it.
For it. He's waiting for his 0.
One day, Onyx. One day it will happen, and I will bombard you so much you won't know which way is up anymore.
I'm sorry.
No, you're not. You love it. So, decisions gentler than your normal ones as you kind of come back to some of your composure. Your eyes just simply just roll back as you stare into him, listen to his words. The last image you see of his eyes glassy with blood. See very vintage photos. Old. Probably during the days where photographs were maybe just barely starting to come down to the mainstream people. Ancient black and white sepia photos. See a family photo. It's like garb, maybe early 1900s. Family of 6. And you see a little boy with messy curly hair, the shortest of 6 children, standing at the front, a big toothy smile, a big gap missing in the center. You see a beautiful mother, long, raven, wavy hair, and a father, with a big, thick mustache and a beard. Looks to be almost armor's attire, but still dressed on their Sunday best. Doesn't look American, maybe European. Hard to say. You see another photo fade in slowly, that long flash kind of leaning in your mind as it slowly develops. You see a happy life, wide land. It's day. The sun is beautiful. There are birds, there are trees. It's an orchard. You see a young Enzo, you can tell he's just a little boy. As he's running through an orchard, carrying a basket of apples, much too big for himself. As he's following in the footsteps of his father, who carries a large axe. You see another photo. The sun is about midday, a little dimmer. It's cold. The trees have no leaves. You see a couple gravestones overshadowing what appears to be a large farmhouse. A mother weeping as young Enzo, a little older, seems to be holding on to his father. But just in the corner, you see that axe just laying on the ground not too far away. Another photo fades in. As you see Enzo cowering over his mother. She's beheaded. As he is screaming, the teenager now, as he is grieving over a pool of blood. A long shadow stands in the way of that axe. You see another final shot as Enzo backs up against the corner, blood still on his entire outfit. A young man as he looks up at his father, his eyes wide, vagueless, that axe dripping with crimson. You hear the sounds of footsteps against wood. A final image. As Enzo leaves with a woman with brown hair and violet eyes as his father's head rolls across the floor. This woman is lean, beautiful, and it is Eleonora, as her hand is dipped in also the blood of Enzo's father. That's what you glean from the past.
Sick. When I come to, I'm just gonna be staring at him contemplatively for a minute, almost tilting my head.
His eyes just kind of fall off to the side as he's not focused on you. He's focused on, as he's just been power played. He clutches the flesh and meat and sinew of his arm, just gritting his teeth. He just dips his head low and just shakes his head. You are such idiots. She is going to tear through all of you for what you're doing.
Yeah, well, Lizzie Borden, I don't think you've got much room to talk.
That eye immediately looks over to you, and he raises an eyebrow. Don't you fucking open your mouth. He clenches his fingernails into his arm as you can see just anger quickly rising to the surface.
I'm gonna roll my eyes at him and look over to Crescent.
He whips around so fast and he is coming straight at you.
I would like to stand in between Onyx and
Who's going after Onyx?
this wild sucker.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, I'm standing in between that too.
Both of you immediately get in the way as Enzo just leans in. His teeth are just bared wide. Luckily, you both are able to kind of jump in front of him as he's able to just barely pull back a frenzy check. Long dagger-like fangs pull out from the front of his gums towards you. His eyes glaze over in black for a moment before they come back in. He tilts his head.
I'm gonna lean over to Crescent and be like, you think you can hang back with him?
Yeah.
You know, I'm just gonna lean over to him with a big 90-watt smile and tilt my head and be like, you know, big boy, I was going to advocate on your behalf and tell her you weren't lying. But you know what? You're still an asshole. Go ahead, farmer boy. Stick with your girl over there. And I'm going to turn around.
And then I'm just going to turn to Grace and just be like, that trick you did with the acid, do you think you can do it again? Leave a little trail for them two to follow behind us?
It's going to require a little bit of blood. Might be hungry by the end of this. Even more so.
Let's just stick to an oldie but goodie then, as he pulls out a knife. You two, just watch for any markers I place to let you know the direction we're going. Grace and I suck at lying, so I'm gonna let you do the talking with Vioneka.
I'm going to turn back to Enzo.
At this point, he is just kind of almost leaning against Acer and Crescent ever so slightly. His eyes have just fallen dark and down as red streaks are just coming down the front of his face. His face is shaking, his fangs are still out, but his eyes have cleared, and he's not doing too good in the head. It doesn't take someone of your mental prowess to know that he is beyond pushed. He is in a horrible state right now.
Keep yourself together for a little bit longer.
He kind of staggers back a little bit until his back hits a wall, and he just slumps down and hits the ground, just shaking his head. Not even just shaking, his actual head is just shaking. He is in a state of tremors almost, as he's just curls himself up very small, with his only good arm left, and just begins to tuck his knees in tight and just hold himself into the smallest ball possible.
I wish I could enjoy this right.
I'll enjoy it for you.
Grayson almost forgot that she was close enough to hear that. He turns his head towards her. Right.
So, who is going after Wawoneka? Okay,
So,
Onyx.
Still
them
hear him,
two-
yeah.
I'm gonna lag behind for just a second because I want to talk to Crescent as soon as they head off for Wioneka.
Okay. I'll say for the sake of time. Grayson, are you staying behind or are you also going after Wawoneka?
I'm going after Wawoneka.
Okay, so as Onyx and Grayson leave, we'll go ahead and run the last bit of tonight's session as Acer, you pull Crescent aside. As Crescent, you watch this whole display. What goes through your mind initially?
At first, it was just pure anger, just of being put in this situation and just of having to deal with this. But now she's just so heartbroken, and it's just taking everything to keep composed right now, not to break down and just go into the most human thing possible for her. But she's trying to maintain face as they walk away of yeah, I'm this tough person that I'm not going to give in. And she's saving face right now.
And then Acer steps to you. Do you try to hold on?
Yeah, I'm trying.
Give me a composure plus resolve. Unswayable mind will help you with this.
Okay. 3 success.
It's enough. Acer, you walk up to Crescent as she has looked away, but then as soon as you approach, she turns her head to you. You don't get to see the full of her face. She's hiding a lot of her face in her hair from you. But it's neutral. Not angry, not enraged, not sad, not in pain, just blank.
Did you get what you needed?
She's not going to say anything. She's just shaking her head.
I know you're going through a lot right now. Well, if there's any solace to your fine nature right now, from what I saw, there's definitely more there. Look, I'm not good with people. let alone Kindred. But as a hacker, I know how to pick out information, especially from all the white noise. There's something there if you want to try and dig it out.
Are you done?
Yep. I'll let you grieve over his death. Watch out for the marks I make with my knife. I'll lead you out. And he walks away.
At this point, Crescent, you are left alone with Enzo. This image of this man in your mind. You've never seen him crumble. In the time as a human or even as Kindred, he never ever so much as even dropped his smile. He was always smiling. Never showed a care or worry on his face, maybe a twinge in the eyebrow when you needed comfort, when you were human. That you could always feel was maybe genuine, maybe. It's kind of muddled now. But the Enzo before you, he begins to weep. And not dramatic, not exasperated or in a panic. The quietest tears, the quietest sounds a man can make when they are broken. When they feel like they've lost everything. As he just tucks his head between his knees. And he weeps. We'll end it with Onyx, Acer, and Grayson as you all make your way through the tunnels. Do you speak to each other at all?
Yeah, I'm gonna walk up to the other two. Just gonna be like, she knows what to do. She'll follow along.
I tried to help, but this guy's kind of a dick.
Very much so. How are you doing, Grayson?
I'm going to need a little time to correct that, but I will be fine. Maintain. It's a necessary evil, let's say for now.
Well, if you ever need a vent, I have a big project I'm working on, and silence sucks, so I usually play music. I could probably switch that out if you need it.
And I have a silent library. The other way works better.
I will be keeping both of those in mind. How about that?
And Onyx I mean, she's not, if she's not nuts. Well, I mean, she is nuts, but she's not as nuts as that. But she's
she's put the Elmer's glue back on.
But I'm still going to every now and then, just kind of tap both of them, and if you kind of get what she's doing, it's mostly just to ensure to herself that you guys are good.
Right.
And this is a perfect time for us to fade out as you guys eventually through this conversation make it towards the end of the maintenance tunnel, as you see conveniently arm over arm through the hole that the door was in as Wawaneka hoists himself up, chin first, onto a maintenance shaft. Just, fuck! What I miss?
I will reach out and help him out. Reach out an arm.
I'll do the same. I'll help him out.
He immediately takes both your hands like, seriously guys, what the fuck did I miss? As he is just drenched again. Where the fuck are those things? And that's where we're going to go ahead and end it for tonight. Wow. A lot was revealed tonight so far. Enzo is alive. Took a little bit of work, and some unfortunate things had to come out as a result of it, but Enzo is alive. Now, before...
Sorry, I called him Lizzie Borden.
Oh, no. That was... I'm loving the conflict, because you stepped on a landmine with him that was not meant to come out this way, and I love it. However, there's a little bit of business left over here, as I'm very bad about this. Stains are meant to be rolled at the end of each session. I keep forgetting about this. So, unfortunately, 2 of our members tonight have stains. Crescent, you did fail a rouse check during one of your oblivions, didn't you, during that chase with the zombies? You have not resolved that. Please roll your empty boxes of humanity. See if the oblivion takes a piece of you away in exchange for the power we gave you.
I worked hard to get your colored eyes back. You better not turn red again.
Okay, that scared me. I already got a success. I had like 3 failures. I'm like, oh no. And I rolled a success, so I'm good.
All right, Grayson.
Your soul maintains its composure. You're able to keep yourself in check. The oblivion does not take a piece of you as penance. The hunger is good enough. For the means justify the ends. Enzo has been retrieved. As a Sombre, your pride is intact. Whatever you ground yourself through humanity remains true. Now, Grayson, you have 2 stains. And you are at 7 humanity, I believe, correct?
That is correct. So I only have 3 die.
Remember, it's your stains take up those boxes, so you have 1.
Oh, I have 1 die, excuse me. You are.
That's okay. You know what? You're gonna succeed. It's okay. Positive vibes.
Unfortunately, the Dictator has left a mark on my humanity.
Still positive vibes. That is, in my head.
Grayson, you have fallen to 6 humanity. Too long have you been kind. Too long you have been diplomatic. Gently moving the tides back and forth. Gently moving your piece across the board. Too many times you tried to make gentle nudges towards success, only for someone to get in your way. Tonight, the Dictator is right. You need power. You need to take action and make decisions. Because if you let the universe make these decisions for you, where are you going to end up? Haley died because of your inaction. Had you been more keen, more observant, taken more aggressive stances, you could have probably seen all of this, and the world of darkness may have never have claimed her. Maybe Danica wouldn't have been taken. Maybe everything bad that's ever happened to you, maybe it is on your shoulders, as it rightfully should. As your beast takes a little bit away from you. However, desires were accomplished. Crescent and Acer. Your desires were to retrieve Enzo. Both of you get an extra experience point, and Acer, you heal a point of aggravated willpower. We thank you all for joining us tonight. It got a little dicey there, and we appreciate you all hanging out with us. We pushed a little bit past our curfew, but close enough. But for now, from the bottom of our hearts, thank you so much for joining us as we do continue every week. Keep your loved ones close, and be mindful of their history. You never know that the person you care the most about in the world might be the most venomous snake you've ever met. And your enemies may very well be your guardian angel. Lock your doors. Hug your loved ones. For the world is dark and difficult, and we need each other. Thank you so much for joining us tonight. God bless you all. We'll see you all again real soon. Good night.